Just wanted to bring a new video to you this evening. A couple that are launching soon that might be interesting. Some other ones that came out, I'm not going to spend too much time on those. We're kind of shifting a little bit because there's so many of these things coming out all the time. I'll be reviewing them, but I'm only going to really put out videos and leave links to ones that I feel are kind of promising. And other ones, we'll track, but we're not gonna I'm not gonna I don't want to say promote the ones that I think are promising, but the ones that just look like they're not gonna last or look like they might have issues, stuff like that. I'll give you guys, I'll show them to you, but I'm not gonna link and try to not really try, but I'm not gonna put anything into it, so I'm not gonna get referral out of it or whatever. But these things are all do your own research, judge your own risk. I've done a lot of videos on these and kind of what to look for, and I'll continue to do so. But these are really you guys can also look into this stuff as well. So yeah, let's get started. MultiChainStaker, they started with the AVAX. It's actually done pretty well. The BNB one, it got going pretty well. It had some bigger deposits a few hours in, and that's the key to these guys. Some of these get some huge deposits, and what I'm noticing is they're usually hours into the contract. These big ones of like 100K USD or something. They're usually never in the first hour or two. They're usually hours into the project. I'm not saying that can't happen, but that's what I'm seeing. When just the other day when we saw that those big ones go into which one's that? The AVAX stake. That almost $1 million USD worth went into that one, and that was 24 hours into it. So those are the ones you want to beat into these. If you're interested in one of these and it looks promising, things like this, like MultiChainStaker, where their other projects have decent traction. This will probably get enough traction to get you through the 14 days at least. I look for things like that. So yeah, this one looks very promising. There's kind of a lack of MaticStakers right now that are really doing well or have a lot of traction. So this is kind of a welcome thing. Hopefully this one can gain that traction. So there's not a lot of Matic or Phantom stakers that, right now we have Phantom FOMO, but I think it's, let me look at its balance. Let's see what it did since last night. Yeah, it went up just slightly, Phantom FOMO, but that's kind of, it's 12 days in, and we're just kind of watching that. But there's not a lot of other ones that are, have a large balance that, you can get in early on right now. They're all AVAX, a lot of AVAX stuff, some BNB stuff, and that Phantom 1 USDC. So yeah, you just want to find the ones that you can get in early on. And right now, Matic, there's nothing really new, but there's a couple that are coming out in the next day or so. As you can see, this one's about 13 hours away. Basically, you just go to the MultiChainStaker.io site and you switch to the Polygon network, and it should switch for you when your wallet's connected. So yeah, it's pretty, I'm not going to go into full detail on this because I've done the review on the past two versions and the code's exactly the same. I looked behind it, it's just adapted to the Polygon network, which isn't really much different at all when it comes to the code. And they just got an audit done for this, so yeah, they're basically ready to go with this one. So if you're really looking to get into, if you've got some Matic laying around, I'm not saying this is the one you should jump into, but there are a couple opportunities coming in the next day or two. But of course, do your own research, look into these. I've really talked a lot about looking at these rates, seeing what you're comfortable with. It's interesting because these two that we're gonna show you are kind of the same. They've got unlocked, they've got lock plans. It's basically the same thing, really. This one might have a little bit lower ROI rates and definitely has lower referral rates. So I don't know. Out of the two, this is kind of my favorite of the ones coming up, but it's all about who's got the traction. But I mean, that's hard to judge when you want to be first in, so you can be first out as well. Yeah, it's basically the whole don't put in more than you can afford to lose. Definitely diversify. Don't dump all of your crypto into one of these things. These are not the thing that you should be gambling all your crypto in, because it is a gamble, honestly. It is that high of risk, and just be very careful. So with that, yeah, MultiChainStaker, I'll leave a link for this one. The next one, I don't know what's going on here. This one launches in about a day. I don't know, a lot of you have been on the whole trip with MaticStaker before. Some people are going to say, I don't want to get burnt again. I totally understand that. This thing, went out in a blaze of glory. It dropped quick, but it was kind of the big boy. I mean, it had like 14 million Matic staked in this thing total. And it got to a huge contract balance, but those daily, the ROI just kept going up every day. And this one's going to be no different. Actually, this one's going to be twice as aggressive, honestly. I'm not sure what the play is here. I think it's more like, hey, let's do the same thing but make it happen faster. I don't know. But it will be interesting to see, because these ones go up 1% every day instead of 0.5%. This thing is, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if it's the same guys that are running Matrix that are doing this over again and are trying to get some liquidity into their token price, because I think that token price is 21 cents, and there are people that put a lot of money into that 20-day or 28-day lockup, thinking they were getting they're going to get one-to-one tokens, which they probably did, but when you put in 500 Matic and you get 500 Trix tokens worth 21 cents, that's, you've just lost 80% of your money, 85%. So yeah, there's probably people not too happy about that. So I don't know if this is just a way to get as much revenue in as possible to get some liquidity in that token. I'm not sure what their play is here, because those rates are high. Yeah, these referrals are high. It's crazy, because I mean, I would think this is a joke, but I mean, I've seen other sites that are doing the same stuff, and just kind of rolling through these things. But yeah, check that one over, go through, I'm not sure. Yeah, just check these things over, guys. Yeah, I'll leave a link to these guys if you want to get into Matic staking. I'm leaning towards MultiChainStaker. This one, do your research on. Not quite sure what's going on behind the scenes here, but definitely go through everything and check it out. Yeah, and I just slightly talked about the Matrix token. I don't know, this is a weird thing. I don't know what they're trying to do with staking your token, but then also getting referrals based off of staking a token. Usually you can, if it's their own token, I don't know. It seems like I'm getting referrals for farming in a liquidity pool, which seems weird to me. This isn't, when you stake a token, you're staking and getting money based on liquidity, and not like a pool like in the ROI dApps. So it's just kind of a mix between those two, and I'm not sure how that's gonna work, because that money has to come from somewhere, and if it's coming out of the liquidity of the token, that's not going to be sustainable for the token. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, tell me what you guys think of that. I just don't see a huge future in this unless they can really build some utility around it quickly, and giving away liquidity out of that token through referrals is probably not the best way to go, especially in the beginning, because you're already giving away, giving out 2% a day or whatever, and like I said, the value has to come from somewhere, and the only place in this kind of contract is it's got to come out of the value of the token. So the more you give out, that token can't really grow. So I don't know. It's just a weird way to do a token, and I'm not sure it's sustainable. I've always been kind of leery on the Trix token because, I don't know, the guys that ran all this stuff before MaticStaker, I saw them do some stuff to other people that was not very ethical, like not paying a mod and stuff like that worked for a few weeks, and they just said, I'm not going to pay you, and sent some terrible messages to him. So I'm not sure what to think about this. It's weird. Anyway, like I said, let's talk about this. This one has high rates, and thought at first I'm like, that's outlandish, and then I look at these other ones that are like, hey, 150% in 6 days, and then 5 levels of reward. It started at 9%. I mean, yeah, I don't know. These things, they just keep jacking up the ROIs, and let's look at FTM. Yeah, and 8,241 people have put in this thing so far. This is one that was audited today. Just kind of showing it to you. Yeah, just these high rates, high referrals. It's not sustainable. A lot of these ROI dApps, they're not going to be sustainable anyway, but they need to at least get you to the point where you're actually making money and get it into your wallet. And if they can't do that, if they're so high that they're just bleeding out like profusely in referrals and contract fees and bonuses and all this stuff, it's not, it's harder and harder to make money when they flash these big numbers in front of you. BUSD Fury, yeah, I don't know. It's just a restart of the same thing that died in, how long did BUSD last? BUSD lasted 6 days. So, yeah, even this one, if you drag that thing down to 7, it says you're going to earn 14, but it takes off like 20%, so you're going to earn like, a BUSD or 2 if you put in 10. That's if it makes it 7 days, and historically that one did not make it. So those ones, these ones that just launch across all these platforms all at once without building up the momentum of one, they tend to not do very well. And we can kind of see that, this thing launched today. It's got almost 5 BNB, 15 AVAX, 698 matic. Yeah. So, when these guys launch across all these different chains all at once, they need to have that traction first before they just, scale up. That's why I think MultiChainStaker did well. because they really started with AVAX and it took off, and then they waited. A lot of people don't have, they're not looking for something that's just going to blast all these chains out at once. We kind of saw this exact same thing happen with Cryptonito with their loan system, quote unquote loan system. They blasted across all those things, and they also didn't get that traction because they're trying to scale up way too fast. They need to get traction and established in one staking contract first before they just scale it across a bunch of them. That's kind of my opinion on those. Anyway, guys, that's the kind of stuff that's been rolling out today. Yeah, we'll be doing another risk assessment probably Monday morning. One thing I did want to mention, two things last night, the MultiChainStaker AVAX and BNB. When I went through the risk assessment, I accidentally put in the staked amounts on the balance. I've since changed those in the sheet, so then when we do our next risk assessment, we can see what happened with the balance. And the other one is AVAX saving. The guys over there, they always give me a hard time whenever I do these because they think I'm being hard on them. I've had comments in there. They're like, hey, this thing went up 1,000 in yesterday when I did that risk assessment. So every time I do these videos, they keep saying I'm not being fair. But the thing is, this thing's 12 days old, and yesterday we were at 4,532 in the balance, and today we're at 3,939. So it's gone down almost 600 in the last 18 hours. So that's more than 10% of the contract that's been gone in the last 18 hours. So yeah, I understand, guys. I know you guys want this contract to last a long time. You want to buck the trend. Let me just drag this over here so you can see it. But the fact is, these things, when you have ROI rates and just a pure ROI contract, you're really, it's really an uphill battle. I mean, yes, you want to get all that good publicity, but over time, the amount of withdrawals totally overpowers the amount of new investment. Even if you stay at the same level you did the first week, there comes to a tipping point where that new investment is not enough to keep up with draws because you're paying out. Let's look. You can see that certain percentage here. Yeah, when you're paying out 20% or something like that in 10 days, there's a point when just your new investment is not going to keep up. As more and more and more people withdraw, unless they're reinvesting their initial deposit, it can't keep up, because if they pull out and they take their initial deposit back and then reinvest their interest, they still took out what they invested before. And if everybody does that, it goes to nothing because they took out their initial investment. These things don't create new money. They don't create new tokens. They just kind of shuffle them around. So I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I get it. I understand why you'd want to, try to prop this thing up. It's actually done very well, considering right now the average lifespan after we added in Matic Meta, which basically died today at 7 days. The average lifespan is 13 days. Yeah, let me just drag this over too. Sorry, this video is way longer than I thought it was going to be, and we almost get a risk score update. Yeah, our average lifespan right now is 13 days, and AVAX saving is at 12 days. So it's going to make it past the average lifespan. So, I mean, great job on that. But, you're not going to be able to prop this thing up forever. You know, I think it's a good dApp, and you know, there's a few things that I would change on that dApp, but I can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna concede the fact of the Ponzi-nomics behind it. There's no way around that. There's no way to fix that. There's no way to change it. I mean, yes, I could shill the project, but eventually there's gonna be people left holding the bag, and eventually it's not gonna keep going forever. So yeah, that's kind of my take on AVIX saving. I know I'll probably get more hate in the comments below, but that's okay. It's just kind of the fact of where these things do. So yeah. Anyway, guys, again, I'll leave a link down below for MaticChainStaker and maybe MaticStaker v2. I'm still trying to figure out what is happening with this thing. But yeah, when they have these high rates, guys, be careful. Not sure what's going on behind this thing. I'll dig further into it. I just don't know. But yeah, I just wonder if they're just trying to prop up their liquidity over there. Anyway, guys, those are kind of the things coming out, especially around matic staking. Like I said, I've had people asking about new ones coming soon, and those are the two that are, I don't want to say most promising, but MultiChainStaker I think is probably the most, because it's got the traction behind the other ones, and of course it's important to get in early if you're going to do these things. So anyway, guys, leave any comments you want to below. I'm always interested to see what you guys have to say, and like the video if you like it, hit subscribe if you want to subscribe, all those YouTubey things, and we'll catch you on the next one.